This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by the Podcast Reach System. Are you ready to exponentially reach more profitable customers? Launching and hosting your own show is your proven best solution for networking, client attraction, and establishing your celebrity expert brand. Visit www.podcastreachsystem.com and claim your rightful place as the leading star of your industry so you make a difference for your community, market, and audience. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
Hi, my name is Adam Homey. I'm your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in and invest in yourself today. As you can see, I'm in kind of a mellow, chill mood here because everything's going fantastic. Every day is what you make of it. And here at the Brilliance Plus Passion Project, we highlight folks who make the world a better place and strive to make the world a better place by being part of it and contributing to it. Today's guest has a really unique idea for us, a really unique concept in the work that she does that I'm very, very curious to have her tell us more about. Her name is Caryl Westmore, and she's known as the world's first tapping book coach. And what she does, she helps writers break free from resistance and writer's block. And she's also an author and host of a podcast called Write the Book Inside You. Very, very, very interesting. So, Caryl, let's just get started here. Come on in.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
All right. So I touched on what you do just very briefly. In these first 2 questions, we're going to have you sort of explain it in your own words. But the first question goes back to the theme of our project here. How does the work you do make the world a better place for your clients, customers, and the world at large?
Well, Adam, by helping clients break free from past patterns and beliefs in their past, and sometimes going back to their childhood, I liberate them to become their highest and best selves, living the life they love and on track with their divine life purpose. I also write books to uplift, inspire, and hopefully spread healing in the world.
Princess Alessandra here is very much in alignment and approves this message. This is one of our office supervisors, Princess Alessandra Francesca. Stella doesn't join us very often. She usually uses this opportunity to take a nap, and then she caterwauls throughout the night. So Alessandra takes the day shift and Stella takes the night shift. It works out pretty well, and they certainly keep me in my place. But Alessandra, you got to calm down just a little. I even put the special cat bed up on the desk just for you. All right. So very briefly, Caryl, what is it that you actually do? And what products and services do you provide? Let's hear it in your own words.
Well, I apply my over 20 years experience as an energy psychology expert using tools like EFT Tapping to get clients results with their dreams and goals when it comes to money, love, or most recently, writing the book inside them.
And the best part is we're gonna leave that in. That's Alessandra really asserting her dominance here. But yeah, I'd like to explore something you said very briefly here. I'm familiar with the EFT. It's the tapping mechanism.
Okay.
I usually have to follow charts because I can't remember, but I know how it works. The tapping and the energetic and what have you. So I understand it. And you pointed out that part of, and I'm familiar with what EFT does, is it helps release some of those patterns that may be embedded with us through our experiences, many of which are formulated during early childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's, and I read somewhere that and maybe I'm off by one or two, but for every positive, or actually, a child is something like 7 times more likely to be imprinted by a negative experience than they are by a positive experience, which is why so many people have miserable childhoods, even if they weren't all that bad.
Well, our,
It can take one traumatic event to throw the whole thing off.
well, our brains, it's the way our brains are primed to
Yeah.
suss out danger. So depending, you can have two children in a family. One is more sensitive and will have taken on board, more of the trauma, let's say, that's going on, or the anxious moments. But we all, you're right, we all are exposed to things that are fearful and sometimes for our own protection. But the trouble is when something happens and we call it a big T trauma or a little T trauma, can be very devastating, or it can just be daddy giving your sister a lollipop, not you, because you didn't eat your spinach, or something that you took on a belief, I'm not good enough, and it can dog your whole life. And I've found it so interesting over the years to help people unpack that. And I don't always know when I sit down with them, but the tapping starts to reduce the anxiety in that brain and in the body, and then gradually things will surface. And doing it with someone, Adam, the trouble is many people just sort of look at the YouTube videos and tap. But if you've had a trauma, you are often isolated and alone. And by working with someone, who's holding your space as you tap and talk, it gives you more hope of healing and letting go and feeling safe. And then I do something which is advanced, which I don't, we've got time to talk about, but to re-imprint that child with a positive, empowering memory.
Exactly. So, we may have this conversation another time. The Brilliance Plus Passion Project is usually an introduction. For now, let's get into a couple questions I ask about the business before we get into the fun part, where we get to discover more about Caryl. So, question number 3 is, in your experience, what are a few of the most common questions that people ask and have for you when they're figuring out what it is you do? Like, what are the frequently asked questions you get?
Well, number one, how does tapping really work? And can you use it on anything? That's the one question. And how do you apply it with the law of attraction to get the results you get? Are you just tapping, or are you doing something else with the client so that they break free and then get the life they love? And the third one, which is quite common, can you help me find true soulmate love like you did?
Yeah.
And Adam, honestly, I've written books to answer all those questions, including the last one.
Yeah. Maybe we can figure out how to use tapping energetically to calm Alessandra down here. I mean, she sometimes joins us, but I have not seen her like this, and I don't know if you can hear it, but she is purring like a diesel truck. There is something you're putting out there that is really capturing her attention. Speaking of attention, tell me a couple questions you wish prospective clients and customers would ask when considering working with you. It would make life so much easier if they would just ask these questions.
Well, right now, because I'm focusing on writers and writer's block, that would be the first question. Can you help me with my writer's block? The second question, can you help me write and publish the book inside me? What's stopping me? Or could you even help me ghostwrite it? And thirdly, what's the shortcut you offer so that I could call myself a best-selling author and get the word about my work out there? What's the shortcut?
Right. And those are all very good. So let's shift gears. And let me ask a few things that help our listeners get to know Caryl Westmore better. First of all, what would people who know you be surprised to learn about you?
Well, I was born on a farm in Africa where lions roamed, and where my first pet was an abandoned little buck or deer called Hickey, because she hiccuped when we fed her milk from a bottle. I don't think many people know that.
Yeah. Wow. What do you hope people say about you when you're not around to hear it?
I hope they say, working with Caryl changed my life, and reading one of her books, you should contact her.
Let's see if Alessandra can give us, nope, she's already back up here, but let's see if she can go up on her kitty bed. Oh, she really wants to hang out with you. I don't know what's going on here, Caryl,
I'll
but
do
I
some
am,
tapping. I'll do some
yeah,
tapping.
she's going to need it. I've never seen her like this, and I've done well over 100 of these episodes.
Well, maybe I should tell you to just tap down her back. Those are her meridians.
Let's
Just
try it. Like
yeah,
like
just
along her tailbone here.
yeah, along there. You could tap
Okay.
anywhere, but I mean, I think on an animal, and just
Mm.
say, release the need to be anxious. It's all
Release the need
good.
to be anxious. It's all
Go and
good.
lie down.
Go lie down. That's a good kitty.
You're
Who's a pretty
safe.
girl?
You're
You're a
safe.
pretty girl. You're in your forever home. That's a good girl.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. If you go back in time and change one thing you've done or one thing you've experienced, what would it be and why?
Well, I wish I'd given up alcohol and become a teetotaler sooner, because since ditching it 12 years ago, I'm healthier, happier, and a nicer person to be around. That's the honest truth.
Yeah, I'm not aware that I have any alcoholic tendencies, but I do know that when I was in college and during those 5 years after I graduated from college, when I still wanted to act like I was in college, uh, I think there were more nights that I think there were more nights that I drank than didn't drink, and sometimes during the day. In fact, if I was having lunch, I would sometimes order a Red Death as my drink. A Red Death is literally a kamikaze and an Alabama Slammer mixed together, and it's about as strong as you would guess. And I'd say, well, it's after 12, loud. We're in a pub. uh, and then it got to the point where I just lost interest in it. I just didn't see the point. Now, sometimes people say, "Oh, come on, man, just have a drink." I say, "I have a drink. I have my iced tea right here." It's like, "Come on, a real drink. What are you talking about?" I'm drinking. This is a drink. So I can relate. What famous person, alive or dead, would you like to meet, and what question would you have for them if they had the opportunity?
Well, I would love to sit down with the Indian spiritual teacher Yogananda, author of one of my favorite books, Autobiography of a Yogi. And what I would ask him is about his deep reverence for Jesus and his connection there. And also a personal question: what more can I do this lifetime to fulfill my life's purpose?
Absolutely. What motivates and inspires you to keep going when you're having a tough time or facing a challenge?
The gratitude list. I count my blessings and literally write a gratitude list. And I also have two sayings that I've learned: let go and let God, and this too shall pass.
You got it. You got it. So, final thing. I know you have a gift for our listeners, and we're going to share that in just a moment. In fact, I'm going to share it for you. I'm going to give you that little bit of endorsement. But my final question for you is, in a couple minutes from now, after this episode is over and our listeners go on about their lives, what is one action you want them to take?
I would like them to buy a simple journal and commit to getting up early and start maybe just this coming week. Spend some quiet time and then write in your journal your feelings, wishes, dreams, and see what happens. Because what I found in my own life is that writing it down can make it happen.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Except I'm not one of those early risers, so we might have to do mine at the crack of 11 a.m. But at any rate, here is the gift. Let's have the drum roll. For those of you who are watching the video version of this on our website or are on our companion YouTube channel, you can see it in the window right now. For everybody else, I'm going to read it off for you. It's www.writethebookinsideyou.com/free gift. Let me say it again. www.writethebookinsideyou.com/free gift. So, what we're going to discover here is something that's very special and unique for our listeners. And let me explain what's happening. Are you keen to showcase your brilliance in a nonfiction book? Caryl's free checklist, 5 book hook tips to kickstart your book writing journey, will ensure your book captivates and sells like hotcakes. And with that, Caryl Westmore, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an honor, and believe me, in education.
Thank you. Thank you,
All right.
Adam, and your beautiful cat.
Princess Alessandra. Alessandra, say bye to Caryl.
Bye,
Oh,
Princess.
such a
I hope
pretty
you get
girl.
some tapping
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
More
absolutely.
tapping.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.